Alright, hello and welcome to Adhd. Season 2. We are starting what Arion has named The Road to Erys. Erys will be the world that this campaign will be taking place in. And before the main campaign starts, we have a few stories we want to tell. The first one we're calling Raincloaks. That's what you're listening to now. Raincloaks is taking place about 100 years before the main campaign is going to start. And in this campaign, it's just me and Arion, but we have guests that pop in and out. So, I hope you enjoy. So, I scrapped my weeks of planning.
Okay.
And I'm kind of going off the cuff with an idea that I think is cooler. It may not work out, but it's higher risk, higher reward. You know,
Ooh,
I could go with this. I could go with the safe, planned option that's not as much fun, or roll the dice on this one and see. Maybe it's not as much fun. Maybe it's a lot more fun.
Davienda Satoya Sagain.
You know?
Time to toss the dice again.
That's right.
Which is a tattoo on my chest, my body, somewhere.
You have that tattoo?
I have that tattoo.
I had to have known that, right?
Davienda Satoya Tovia Sagain. I don't know if you knew that. I mean, I had to have told you guys and sent pictures at one point. Like,
there's no way I haven't seen a picture of it. Very recently, you sent us a picture of all your tattoos, I thought.
I don't know about that. I don't remember that.
Well, a lot of your tattoos, because you were saying that none of them are professionally done.
Yeah, I don't have a single professional.
And then you were like, here they are, bam, 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 bam.
I probably sent a bunch of them. I don't think I sent all of them, but...
How many do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8. I forgot about the ones on my biceps. I've got 4 on my arms, 1 on my calf, 1 on my crotch, 1 on my chest, and 1 on my ribs.
The one on your crotch is the used.
Yeah, it's the terrible one. It's my favorite tattoo story to tell, and it is the worst one.
It's so good.
I don't know if I have that story on audio, and I'm not going to do it right now between you and me because you know that story.
Yeah, I think it is on audio though.
It's probably somewhere.
I didn't hear it through text. I heard it out loud.
It has to be like a random session though, and not like anything on the main campaign or something. I'll hear it.
That's why we gotta have wormholes though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why we have to make that a thing.
All right,
man.
It's 8:30.
Yeah.
I've been recording for 47 minutes.
God, how long have I been recording? I think I was recording before you.
Oh, you might have been. I forgot to start.
Yeah, 48 minutes. So
Nice.
Just barely got you.
Well, that's because I forgot my mic wasn't plugged in.
Do we want to keep any of this?
Oh, I'm keeping all of this. This is going into a wormhole. Some of this will be a wormhole material.
Yeah, well, I don't mean delete it. Do we want to start over or just do a clap here so we know where to cut?
Let's do a clap here.
Okay. I'm probably going to... Well, it won't matter because I'll be the one editing this. So I'll just name mine. I'm probably going to... I would like to start doing that if I'm editing, like look at where where the clap is. Okay. And be like, name it. I'll date it and stuff and then be like, around 50 minutes. Or is it real easy to see the clap just scrolling through?
You can see it very easy. That's why you do the clap, because you can see that line. It's one sharp line. Like, it's very easy. So, do you want to do time.is or do you want to do countdown?
Let's do time.is. I think we're better that way.
Yeah, I've got it up.
I had it pulled up. Do it. Yep. Dude, the time.is/just is as a game changer.
Yeah, it makes it so much simpler. You don't get to see what the day is, but yeah, let's do 20.
Oh.
Okay. I clapped. I was deciding whether or not I should keep my hands apart before the clap, or if I should have my hands together and then pull them apart and then clap. So I was like sitting there like debating on what to do with my hands while waiting to clap.
That's funny. I clapped and thought I didn't hear Ryan's clap, and then I looked at my Audacity.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, we're already perfectly lined up. I see my clap and his clap right under it, and I'm like, no, you idiot, that's all you.
Yeah, that's just the way the audio files are on Audacity.
You can't see his audio right now. He's recording on his computer. No, I don't want to scan my computer for viruses right now. That's a terrible idea.
Okay. All right, so tonight we are playing Rain.
That's right. This is the... Oh, God, it's hard to put it in episode terms.
This is episode 5. This will be episode 5.
5th? Is it the 3rd session, though?
It is the 3rd session, but the other 2 sessions are both going to be 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be the 5th episode. We are going to have Rain for like 2 months. Literally, we might not be done with Rain until after March.
Where are we in Seattle?
Ha ha ha, get it.
Because it rains a lot there.
Eugene, I think I'm having a stroke.
Okay, so last time on Rain, you were... it's been a while. Do you remember... Were you tasked with just dealing with this captain of the guard, or were you told to go kill him? It ended with you killing him.
I'm pretty sure... I don't remember if I was...
Those were the instructions, though.
I think the instructions were to kill him. If it wasn't to kill him, it was definitely to take care of him in any way that I thought was good, and I'm pretty sure it was killing him.
Yeah.
And I had Tajil with me.
You had Tajil with you. I'm impressed you remembered his name. I can't ever remember any of Keechwan's characters' names.
Tajil is the only... Well, Shock. I remember Shock now, too. I don't know. I'm not...
Easy.
Yeah, Shock is easy.
And then there's the one that died.
Kato.
God, look at you. Man, you're good with names.
I remember that because of the Green Hornet comics.
Because of what?
Green Hornet. It's a DC comic, and his, second is Kato. But they made a really bad movie.
I know his son's Kato, but...
Yeah.
So, what would Rain be doing after that job? He completed that job. He was paid for it, praised for a job well done, and now he's had like a month of downtime where he's in Vogelhelm, this huge, nice city. But also he has free reign in this we described it very Skyrim Thieves Guild, like under the city hideout. Except I picture it being nicer than the Thieves Guild in Skyrim, but it is still very Spartan and
Skyrim.
And, it's there to serve a purpose.
How do you spell Vogelhelm?
It is. I don't want to spell it wrong, so I'm gonna look.
Yeah, I didn't want to pull up the map.
It's Voguehelm.
Okay, exactly how it should be. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Vogelhelm.
Which is what I thought before looking it up. I was like, it's spelled like it sounds, but I gotta look.
Of course, now I'm like an idiot. I wrote it now. I'm like, I want to know where it is in the world. I should have just pulled up the map. So he's got a month.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Basically, that's what it seems like. With the jobs he's ran with the cloaks, it seems pretty common practice. Like they pull little teams as needed, and then if you're not running a job, like you just kind of have free reign. Just basically the rules are like, don't get in trouble. And
so basically he can just kind of
get in trouble with your cloak.
Yeah. I think Rain wouldn't even be wearing his cloak most of the time. At least not the cloak. If he's been giving one with the red lining and stuff.
Uh-huh.
He
definitely has one.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't wear it often. He doesn't exactly like the fact that it's like... He doesn't like the fact that it's like a brand. It's like, oh yeah, if you catch me with this, you know who I am or what I'm part of. And like, while he's he he's not worried about being associated with the cloaks, but he doesn't like the feeling that it's like he's, I don't know. It's like the weird property thing because he was like a Hunling, like raised as like a serving dog, basically.
Like property,
yeah. Mm-hmm. And so like for him, like, yeah, he wants to be part of the cloaks and he's not like ashamed of being a cloak, but he probably only wears it when he's doing official cloak business in his mind. Otherwise, he's probably just wearing his regular, he's got like a shaggy, he's got that shaggy cloak that he wears to act like he's just a random thief.
Yeah.
The one he was wearing when he stole from Tajil. Looks like he's homeless, looks like worn and everything. He can wear it loose where you don't notice that he's got armor on underneath his cloak.
Yeah, I love that because I feel like a lot of the people that are in the cloaks, it's more like a team jersey for them. So they love it, like they're always wearing it.
It's their Letterman's jacket.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's that, like, I belong, like I belong to this group. This makes me so important. I like how he's different with.
Yeah, he probably.
He's like, yeah, I mean, I wear it. It doesn't own me, but it doesn't own me. I don't wear it when I don't have to.
He has, like, free access to go in and out of, like, the hideout for the cloaks then at this point?
Yeah. There's one section that's always locked that, like, just basically no one talks about. That he obviously doesn't go into, and there is that area that was like a huge common area with all the side rooms, that are kind of like the study rooms on a library, where you've been pulled to get your missions. Like they pull you in. It's I guess it's actually more like an interrogation room is what it looks more like when you go in there. But you go in there and get your missions. So like those doors are normally locked, and you see people going in and out of there. But you've been in them. It's not like you're being kept out. But yeah, for the most part, you just have complete free reign. You have a room here too. Like no rent you can stay in. There's the training grounds. There's a bar. There's a place where you can eat cheap. Basically, there's a place in here you can eat, and the food's not great, but you're paying like. They're not making money off of it. You're paying.
Yeah. They're making money off of what you do for them anyways, so. I think, oh man, that's I don't think he would stay there very often. I think the jobs just kind of come
random. We don't have to do a whole scene either. I just
I'm thinking like, okay, does he, do you have to be like in the hideout to get jobs, or do they like send someone to you if they want you for a job?
Yeah, no, it's definitely more the second. Like, if they need you, you'll.
Okay. Then if he knows
there would be a few people that, just from being in as long as he has, there's a few members he's noticed only come in to go into one of those rooms, like to get a job and then leave, and then he doesn't see them again unless they're coming in. Dude.
I think at first he probably spends a good bit of time at the hideout and maybe stays there like a few nights. Like, maybe, like, right after the second job, he's, like, there for, like, a couple days, just straight, eating the food, sleeping, watching the people, trying out all the stuff. And then he just disappears from there and goes about his business, like, out in the city. And it's basically... Yeah, he doesn't come back unless he knows there's a job, because he's not gonna sit in a hideout with a bunch of nerds.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
And he doesn't need to pay for food elsewhere. Why would he pay for food there? He can just steal food everywhere else in the city.
I love it. How do you think the cloak... Because I feel like they do it different depending on who you are. How do you feel like the cloaks would call Rain back in to let him know he has a job?
That depends on like what type of setup you want to do for that. If you want it to be like I'm picturing it like he knows where he first had that meeting. So maybe if they do like a thieves' cant thing, like on a wall there, whenever they know they need to call him, you know, like the whole candle in a window, but not a candle in a window. Maybe there's like some sort of magical paint that just shows up, like it just shows up and it says something in thieves' cant. He'll see that and be like, okay, I need to go. So he'll check that like building like once a day. He'll just walk by it, and that would probably be the best way unless someone just wanted to find him wherever he is.
Okay. No. I like that a lot. Yeah, so on this particular day, you are, so we said that building was basically in the center of this city. It's this massive sprawling city, and in the center is the Lawbringer Tower. And then the area around that is very nice. It's where a lot of the people in the government and just let the rich people live. Great city planning, really nice. They call that the Upper Vogue area. And then it goes to like middle class as you move away. And then when you get closer, there's a wall surrounding the city. When you get closer to the wall, you start getting in like the slummy area. Unless you're in on the main roads. The main roads tend to be all middle class and upper class. So that building was in it was closer to one of the walls. I can't remember which side. I think it was west, but I could just be making that up. But it is, so it's down in what they refer to as the Helm. So on this particular day when he's going through the Helm and makes his daily trip past that building, he sees a raindrop painted real small on the side. On the side of that like condemned building.
His thought to himself is that's a little on the nose.
He sees it, and like when he thinks that, it just like kind of dissipates.
Yeah.
And there's nothing there now.
He like kind of like winds his way through the city to head toward the hideout. He doesn't rush there or anything. He meanders his way. Probably picks a pocket or two just for the heck of it. A lot of times what he takes from people's pockets isn't, like, if it's valuable, I don't even think he, like, keeps most of it. Like, he'll just toss it away at a later time. But he likes to...
So he doesn't give it back, but he doesn't keep it.
No. Like, unless it's actually something unique or cool, like, if it's, like... if it's a cool little item or something, he might keep it. But for the most part, he just kind of... He's more likely to toss it to the side of the street for somebody else to find in the future.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. I don't have proficiency in that.
Aren't you a rogue?
No, I'm a ranger.
You're a ranger, that's right. You did level up, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Can you hear this chair?
I can't.
Okay, good. I'm having trouble. I don't normally sit still when we play, and I'm moving back and forth in this chair, and every now and then I hear it like. Arr.
Oh, see, the chair I'm in, the armrests do that, so I put the armrests up while I'm playing.
Smart. Okay, so that's a 9. So now I want you to make a luck, which your sleight of hand is affecting.
17.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, my flat D20 is better than my +3.
Yeah. So with a 17 though, you find and your 9 before that, you find like I don't think you find anything that Rain would be too interested in. You find some knives that are just regular knives, like pocket knives. You wind up like picking like 3 of those and like 10 gold worth of coins on your way through, but nothing unique or that like sticks out.
Yeah, he'll toss the daggers like into the alleyway as he's walking by. And then the 10 gold, he'll actually like randomly just put them on like window ledges and stuff as he goes.
That's amazing. Okay.
Like, so he doesn't like toss them down or anything, but he does like he'll set it on a window ledge. He'll set it on like the railing of like something, or if there's like a bench, he'll set it on like the top of the bench, like that type of thing.
Yeah, he's putting it in places where it's definitely going to be found.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be found, and it's definitely very obvious somebody put it there. Mm-hmm. He's doing what I do with pennies when I find them on the street.
But this is more like if you did that with $100 bills.
Yeah, basically. These are it's gold coins. I'm fucking just I'm putting $100 bill left and right. Yeah.
He's like, oh my god, I can't believe we still have bills for hundreds. I'm just gonna like throw this down.
Rain has
and
160 gold. Like that's what I started with is 160 gold. I don't remember if he got anything from the first job or even the second job, but that's what I have from his original inventory. So
that's what you have from his original inventory.
yeah,
So
pretty
this
sure.
is the problem with these side stories is we squeeze them in whenever, and there's lots
Yeah.
of details I can't remember that I should brush up on before we play, but then I don't.
Oh, it's hard too with the
Definitely
audio.
got paid. He definitely would have got paid for like his jobs. And with his lifestyle, why don't you just give him like 350 gold?
Ugh, that's so much gold.
Or he just threw it all around, and he doesn't have to have any.
No, I think if he gets paid, I think he keeps it. Let me see. Ranger is 125 gold starting out. So if I have 160, that means I probably got some from a job.
You got some from gambling, betting on yourself in a fight I don't know if you kept up with that, but I remember in one session when you first went to this hideout and saw the training grounds, you sparred with someone and people were betting, and you bet on yourself. And
won. Yeah, that's probably where I got some. So that's probably So how much gold are you giving me on top of that? 3.
I was saying 350 total, but that's so weird. I'd say you add 300 to what you have.
Okay.
They gave you 100 for the first. They gave you 300 for the first 3 ways, and then 400 for the next one, split 2 ways. So you got 1 and 2.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna keep that.
And I probably said contradicting things in the other episodes, but now this is the truth.
This is now the truth because and then next session you'll say something different again, and that will be the truth.
Unless you write down your gold, and then we're good.
400 gold from the previous 2. Oh! Wait a minute.
300
sessions. I have 500 gold split 2 ways from session 2.
Oh wait, what? Are you looking at real notes? 500 gold split 3 ways. Okay, yes. Awesome.
Wait a minute. 500 gold split 2 ways. 500 more if we split between the 2. I don't know what that means. I don't know why it would be split between the 2. 500 split 2. I don't know why I wrote that twice. I do have Nat 20 for Ketuan to have an advantage on cheating on dice. And I have gambles and boxes. Go. My notes get real bad after we start combat. I go to the bathroom, then to the captain's office, get stopped by an elf, and uses the rock to surprise him. I don't remember what the rock was. I just think I had a rock. Goes in and punches the captain. Tajiel sets a garbage fire, and then that's like it.
That's great.
Oh, we did talk about trash. Trash is thrown into mimics that eat it. Streets are cleaned by prestidigitation brooms. Toilets have crystals that get rid of mortal waste.
Now, the mimic thing was never confirmed or denied. But I do think with Rain's schedule, I picture him being up at weird hours.
Yeah.
He would see the brooms. What was it? I was thinking it's like between the hours of 3:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. is when the brooms come out and clean the upper vogue. They do it because it's like the most dead part of the night. So there's lots of sayings that revolve around that in Vogue Helm. Like if you have a wild, crazy night, like people say things like, "We were up so late we saw the brooms." Like it's not hidden. People know about them, but yeah. If you see them, you're up super early or you've had a crazy. So anyway, he makes his way to the hideout, and
on the way he stops at a little hiding place that he has, pulls out the cloak, and it's like on a rooftop, probably like near the hideout where you can see the hideout. But he like pulls out the cloak, puts away his. He doesn't like hide it in the same place. He puts it in his bag, his other cloak, his ratty cloak, and then he throws on his real cloak. And then he goes to the hideout.
Okay. I definitely had an entrance to the hideout too, so we'll just move past that and you go into the hideout. So, you go into the hideout.
It's a
you're in the main
slide.
common room. Yeah, it's definitely a slide. It's you go into this toy store and you have to pull a lever that takes you down a tunnel slide. No, but anyway, so you
It's been so long since that.
yeah, that's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut.
So then I think you only get if you read the text-based stories, but
oh, maybe.
So you go in, you go to the common room where there's these like study rooms off to the side, and you see a door open, which means you need to go in there because you've been summoned. So do you make your way to the door, or are you gonna do something else first, or say screw you, Bret, and go do something crazy?
He sniffs the air. He kind of looks around and looks at who's in here. Does he see like Tajil or anybody he would know?
Why don't you make a perception check? We sniff there and look around.
He's sniffing for Tajil. Perception is wisdom. I don't have proficiency because I refuse to be one of those people who takes perception proficiency every single time. That's a 10.
I feel attacked.
You and Carson both. And Blake. And a lot of our players. A lot of players always take perception. Anyway.
Every time I say, I'm not taking perception this time, and then I'm really proud of myself, I'm like, oh, wait, I'm playing that. I get it. So with a 10, you know a few people in here. Like, you see the guy that you beat in that sparring match, but you don't really know him. You just know he's that guy. And you see a lot of people like that. You think you see Tajil across the room until he like turns around and you get like a good look at his face, and it's definitely.
As soon as he starts turning around, I make sure that he doesn't see me if it is Tajil.
Which. Okay. Why are you hiding from Tajil?
I mean, I don't need anybody talking to me while I'm in here.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't, with your
if
10,
they want me talking,
you don't really see anyone that you know that you think would come and talk to you. No, I was terrified. You were like, I want to see Tajil, talk to him. And I was like, God,
no.
Are so hard for me to get in the mind of. He's such a wild card with all of them, I feel like.
No. Rain's definitely just tried not wanting to be talked to. He has probably like been in here and like Azrael was in here and talked to him, and he probably was like, fuck this, I don't want to ever come back into this place again. He's definitely started marking the locations that Azrael visits in like the city. He's probably tracked Azrael and made sure that he doesn't go to those places.
Yeah, even when you're 10, as you look around and you don't think anyone's in here, you hear like no, you hear this loud cheer, and you look over and you see Azrael standing up, like screaming at a table, like he's just won at cards or dice or something you can't see because there's so many people around, and like money's passing hands, and people are slapping each other on the back. And then
I pulled my hood up and immediately head toward that open door. I definitely have my knuckle duster and my brass knuckles on my hands as I move. They're so like the way here. I'm gonna describe this. You can suck it.
No, go ahead. I love it.
He cuts all of his cloaks, so that way when he like pulls them tight, his hands go into like these little pockets on the inside, and that's where he keeps all of his like weapons, like the knuckle dusters and the brass knuckles. So that way when he pulls them tight and closes it, he can just slip his fingers into the brass knuckles, and then if he opens his cloaks, they're already on his hands. So like he like pulls his cloak tighter, and his fingers go into the knuckles as he moves away from Azrael as quickly as he can.
What are you doing?
Playing D&D with you.
Yeah, you scared the crap out of me.
Hey, show them the shark meme. Show them the sharks, Bret.
No, she left a while ago.
Show them the sharks.
Where?
He has his headphones off.
God. I'm talking to somebody that's freaking out. He wants you to see this picture.
Everybody needs to see it, Bret.
She doesn't even get it.
Oh. Who is it, your sister?
No. Yeah, you've never heard that? It's just fine.
Wow, that's sad.
Because he's also having a stroke, so he forgets what they're really good at smelling. Because everyone knows sharks are good at smelling blood in the water. So, of course. How do I know? He asked.
Hey, what is it? Sharks are good at smelling.
What is it we can smell from a quarter mile away? That's how I know he forgot. He asked that. And he says,
blood?
Blood? And he goes, not toast?
No. You cheat. I think I'm having a stroke.
She's real disappointing.
Oh, that's so disappointing. I don't think you should be friends with this person anymore or associate with them at all.
Well, I work with them is the weird part, you know. I'm not talking to you, Grace. I wasn't. Yeah, I was talking about you for sure.
Oh, fudge.
Why are you here? I thought you were going to Texas.
That's a big difference.
But yeah, he's gone. That's our receptionist just came in, just walked in. I'm sitting here playing D&D, taking notes.
Why did she walk in at 9 o'clock at night?
Because she said they just ate Japanese food, and then they were gonna go home, and she's with her little sister, and her sister's like, I'm gonna have diarrhea so bad, I can't make it home. And she's like, well, let's just stop at the office. And then the bathroom's right next to Elizabeth's office where I'm playing. And so Grace is laughing because she's like, she's talking about how her sister's in there listening to TikToks as loud as her phone will go.
Oh my god.
And that's why when she came out, I was like, you peed for a really long time. Because she's 17. So like
poor
the
kid.
little sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, oh yeah, I was peeing so much.
Oh, that's terrible. Poor girl.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's so funny how many people show up at your work at random hours of the night and shit.
Crazy, isn't it? Like I came here, I'm here to be safe. And yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
I can't believe she's not working tomorrow.
Because she's in Texas.
She's not. She asked off 2 weeks ago to go to Texas, but now she's not going. But she's still not coming to work. All right.
Hey, if you get the time off.
Yeah, I guess. You were describing the scene when this happened, and it really messed everything up for me. The last thing I heard, you're talking about how he cuts his cloaks and puts pockets on the inside.
Yeah.
And keeps
and
all
then he
his
goes
items
into
in there.
Yep, and that's where he keeps his brass knuckles. So that way, when he pulls his cloaks in tight, he can have his brass knuckles on his fingers. And then he just goes into the open door and sees who's there. See who's giving him a job.
Okay. So when he goes into the open door, at first it seems like there's no one in there. There's a standard table. It's always in there. There also always seems to just be the right amount of chairs in here. So there's like one chair for you on the near side of the table as you walk in, and an empty chair on the other side. And as Rain walks in, the door closes behind him, like by itself. And then when that happens, a figure slowly fades into view in the chair across the table. This figure's wearing, I say a figure because Rain can't make out any features. They're wearing this big black cloak that with the hood up, and the hood comes like way out over their face, like kind of like Jedi's hood when they flip it all the way up, but it's thicker and probably comes out even further. So it just completely obscures their face, and their hands are under the table, so like you can't make out any features.
He takes a very big sniff to see if he can catch the hint of any like smell of anything.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception check.
With
or
advantage.
Investigation. You get perception. Do you get
I'm a hoodling.
advantage on perception?
Yeah, I'm a dog.
Yeah, take that advantage perception check then.
That's a 16.
16. With a 16, you get it smells like salt water, basically, in this room to you. I mean, there's 16. You would know it's definitely like coming off of whoever it is sitting across the table from you. Yeah, it's just very strong salt water. It is all you can smell.
I think he wrinkles his nose a little bit, but then like sits down across from him, and like he leans back in his chair and keeps his hands in his hood, his cloak, but doesn't say anything.
All right, so as he sits and leans back, this robed figure kind of leans forward a little bit, almost as if studying you, and they move their arms to where it seems like they're clasping their own hands under the table, and it says, "You have done well for us. You continually prove willing to do whatever needs to be done to complete your assignment."
Yes.
What is it that drives you?
Bret.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He just says yes.
He says yes. They said, "What is it that drives you?" He says yes.
Oh, I didn't hear that last part. All I heard was you say. I didn't hear. Yeah, I think you cut out probably near the end. Okay, yeah. So I think we cut out to each other there because you just said you are continually to do or whatever the first part was, and I was just like yes, and then
he said you'd done well for them. You continually are willing to prove to do whatever needs to be done to.
And that's when I said yes, because that's when it stopped.
Okay, and then it said, "What drives you?"
Oh.
I need to do not a whisper voice. It's probably not picking up what.
Just lean into the mic when you do the whisper.
It's a headset. It's so hard to lean in.
Oh yeah, that does make it. I forget that you're on a headset sometimes.
Just move it in real close.
What drives me? What drives me is power, strength.
You say power, and the figure leans forward. And then strength, and it moves its elbows like onto the table. Where it moves its forearms on the edge of the table, and it has its hands clasped in front of it. And when it does that, you can see the first features on this creature in front of you, which are its hands. And its hands are like this blue mixed with purple, long fingers, and it's like scaly. And it says, "So would you be interested in moving up even higher in these ranks? With one more mission, you could reach up high enough to grab this curtain we call the cloaks and throw it back."
Just one more mission? I would do that, yes.
Man, I know this kills the mood, but I didn't hear anything you said.
I said, just one more mission? I would do that, yes. Hey, Bret, if you don't remember this, one of Rain's personality traits is to mimic the voice of whoever is speaking to him. So whatever voices you do, I'm going to be doing back at you.
Oh, I forgot that. I love it. I noticed you do. I was like, why is he doing this whisper voice thing I'm doing? I thought maybe it's just contagious. I totally forgot that he mimics. That's great. I gotta see. Okay,
You rolled a lot of nines when you've rolled.
I have rolled a lot of nines with my random rolls. That one was just to basically see if it catches on that you're mimicking his voice, and he
doesn't.
No, he just keeps going about his business. So he's this new rank will take. It takes more critical thinking. No one will be holding your hand. So,
I don't need my hand held.
Which is why you're here. There is, obviously, you know of the Lawbringer's Tower. Somewhere in the basement area of it is an armory. You need to find your way in, take what you can, and get out without being seen. Or without raising any suspicion, at least.
I can do this.
If you're caught, they will surely kill you.
They will try.
Well, like I said, this is more critical thinking. Do complete this task however you see fit. But there is one gift for you. And it reaches into his cloak and pulls out like this folded up like black material and tosses it on the table. And they fold into a square, and he says, "You won't after this assignment. You won't need that." And it points its like purpley blue scaly finger at your cloak. You won't need that anymore. This will suffice.
Rain sniffs the material.
Sure. Go ahead and make your perception check with advantage. I don't know how much Rain knows about clothing material, though.
I don't know either. That's a 19.
19. Okay. 19 to smell it. Okay. So it has that new car smell, but with a cloak, you know? So like this was definitely made. He can tell sniffing it, and also there's just this weird sensation about it that like tickles Rain's nose, where he would know this definitely has magical qualities to it.
Rain has a magic nose. Okay. New car smell. He takes it and like unfolds it.
Yeah, it's so it just kind of looks like a standard black cloak when he unfolds it. And as he's unfolding it and like holding it up, the figure across from him says, "This can blend into other. This can blend into the environment and help you hide, and also you can change it. You can change its appearance at will. So if it needs to be this red cloak," he kind of spits the word, "then it can be." And I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you because it's easier. All right, so this is a this cloak will give you advantage on stealth checks when you're wearing it, and it also has the glamour weave on it, so you can change it to make it look like something else. And you can use it to cast invisibility on yourself only once a day.
I can change it with the glamour weave as much as I want.
Yeah, isn't that how glamour weave works? Or does glamour weave have charges?
I have no idea. Invisibility.
For now, we'll say as much as you want. And if glamour weave winds up having charges, then standard glamour weave charges. But I think you just change it. It's basically the idea of it is you're moving up in these ranks. So if you ever need to be a cloak, you can change it to have red lining.
Okay. Yeah, it does seem it's just whenever you can use a bonus action. Yeah. Yep. When you make a charisma.
So it's whatever glamour weave does. So it costs a bonus action, but you have unlimited.
Okay.
Uses.
Yeah, there's an uncommon version and a common version.
It's the uncommon version.
Oh. So uncommon glamour weave can have the pattern rise from the cloth.
What's the difference?
For example, a glamour weave gown might be wreathed in harmless illusory flames, while a glamour weave hat might have an illusory butterflies floating around it. So basically, uncommon lets me create 3D things.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's definitely uncommon.
When you make a charisma, performance, or persuasion roll while wearing the uncommon version, you can roll a d4 and add the number roll to the check.
Heck yeah.
Once you do that, you can't do it again until dawn. So I can basically change its colors and stuff as much as I want. But if I want to do like the special thing, it would be like once a day. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Glamour weave. Good note, Bret. Glamour weave does more than Bret knew it did. I pulled up the item.
With all of it.
I pulled up the item, and you're like, "Oh, I should have read the item."
And just fucking around, you're like, it can be uncommon. I'm like, yours is uncommon. These are the uncommon effects. I'm like, oh, yeah.
It's a warder cloak that casts. It's a warder cloak that casts invisibility and has glamour weave on it. I like it.
Yeah, warder cloak was definitely an inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, shocker.
Wait, Wheel of Time reference? What?
With that, this figure hands inside its sleeves and kind of leans back, like you just get the air that you're dismissed.
Rain hesitates for a second, but then stands up and walks out of the room without saying anything.
Yeah, so he walks out of the room. The door closes behind him. This was a very quick interaction. So the room you're walking in, this common room you're walking into, looks much of the same, except that God, I can never remember his character's name. The
Azrael?
table with all the ruckus. Yeah, Azrael's table seems to have like grown out, like something exciting is going on over there. And there's still lots of like backslapping and stuff. You see money changing hands. But other than that, everyone else just kind of looks like they're wanting to eat, drink in peace.
Yeah, I leave as quickly as I can.
Okay.
And then I go to the spot where I usually hide my cloak, my normal cloak's cloak. And I take that off and put it in the hiding spot. And then I put on the glamour weave cloak.
Okay. Make a Constitution save. No, I'm just kidding.
I put it on. I try it on. I make sure it fits, and then I.
When you put it on, it doesn't fit. Like it's too big, and for like 3 seconds, and then it just kind of forms to the way you want it to fit.
Does it have pockets where I want it to have pockets?
How do you put the pockets in?
Usually, I cut like the cloak on the inside, and then I kind of sew like a pocket inside on each side so that way I can have one of my knuckles on each side of the thing.
So you take a knife into one side, and as it touches the cloak, a pocket just kind of knits itself in. Then when you look at the other side, it starts knitting a pocket in too, like it anticipated that you want the other side too. And I don't know if Rain's how Rain's pockets look, but these look very nice and like they were made into the cloak and are kind of hidden. You definitely see them because you watch them get knit straight into the cloak. But I think even looking at them, he would know, man, there's a chance I could show people the inside of my cloak and get away with having stuff in it. Well, it has glamour weave, so of course you can. You don't even need hidden pockets.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he puts all his stuff in his cloak, in the glamour weave cloak, and the glamour warder cloak, and I think he checks out the Lawbringer Tower.
Okay. So you're just gonna go straight to the tower, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's gonna go where he can see it from a distance, and then like meander his way around it.
So define a distance, because basically this tower is massive, You can see it if you're outside in the city.
Okay. I would say probably within like 2 blocks of it, he starts kind of making his way in like this ambling circle, slowly getting closer, but he wants to go all the way around it like 3 times before he gets within like whatever distances would be noticed by guards or something.
Okay, so you're starting out down in the helm, and moving your way up because like we've said, the city's built around the tower, and then it gets progressively worse away from it. So, as you move up, I mean, way before you're 2 blocks away. When you're like 2 or 3 miles away, you start getting into the upper Vogue, where it is very, very nice. Very nice, very expensive houses. Everything looks pristine, well taken care of. Are you still wearing your just standard? Like it is just a black cloak, like you're looking like yourself.
What color do the Lawbringers wear? Red? What?
Oh, we have actually never talked about that. Well, mainly the Lawbringers, what gives them power is they have a badge.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
So they can wear lots of different colors, but I think their primary color they'd wear would be white.
Okay.
On average, if you looked at their stuff, they tend to prefer white and gray, based on like the 2 schools of thought of like the white are like we're so pure, and the gray are like no, we're blind justice, so we dirty our hands sometimes.
I think he's gonna change his cloak to gray.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's kind of going to be on the lookout for like a solo Lawbringer, or maybe 2 Lawbringers that are kind of wandering around, 1 or 2.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Okay.
This is as you're first coming into the Upper Vogue? Like when you're like 3 miles away from the tower, or is it when you've moved up and you're 2 blocks away?
I think it's going to be when he's 3 miles away. He wants to be far enough away that it's not like...
He can still dip out if he gets busted.
Yeah, he doesn't want to try to do this to Lawbringers within sight of the tower, like close sight of the tower, because that sounds insane.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That's a nat 1. So 1 plus 1, I got a 2 on that investigation check. If I'm gonna get a crit fail, I'd rather do it now.
Yeah, there's that's an easy. Yeah, there's definitely no Lawbringers around this far from the tower. You must not be close enough.
He sighs and then just keeps moving closer to the tower. He's probably going to get within that 2 block radius and then like...
Okay.
Yeah, he's still on the lookout for any Lawbringers that he might find, but it seems like they're all busy right now. What time of day is it?
Yeah, they might. I pictured the meeting happening early morning, so if you left, like if you went to the meeting and then left, it's like 8, 9 in the morning.
Okay.
Unless that doesn't fit Rain's schedule. Like if Rain's a late sleeper or something, we can adjust it. That's fine.
Rain doesn't sleep much.
I like it. Yeah, so it's somewhere between 8 and 9.
Okay. Yeah, then he's taking his time. He probably takes an hour to do this walk. But he's definitely keeping his eye out for any solo or duo Lawbringers that he think he could take on or pocket a badge from. That's what he's basically aiming to do because he wants to get a badge.
Yeah. So as he moves closer to, even in even in the upper Vogue area, it still seems to get nicer as you get closer to the tower.
Mm-hmm.
So this close, when you're within like 2 blocks, there are restaurants, like legit restaurants with outside seating because it's a nice time. The weather's great, and that's not a thing that you see most places. Like everywhere else, even in this city, you can eat at a tavern but it's not like a restaurant, right? Like it's like this is what we have to eat if you want it, and they'll sell it to you. These are like restaurants with outside seating with menus. They have like 20 different items. Make special orders, stuff like that.
It's just like the bar that he was hanging out at that one time, when nothing bad happened to anybody.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And so you would see lots of people, like sitting in this outside seating area, eating breakfast. People going to work, like it's very busy around here. Lots of hustle and bustle at this time of the day. So
he pulls his cloak tight and like moves by some of these tables, not going invisible, but definitely making it like kind of shifty. And tries to nab some food off one of these tables. His stomach's growling. He hasn't eaten this morning yet.
Okay, why don't you make a sleight of hand check? I'm gonna give you advantage since you're using your cloak to be a little shifty.
I'm a little shifty boy.
Just a little shifty boy.
Just a little bitty shifty boy. Oh, that is not how many sides. I need 20 sides, not 3 sides.
You can roll that if you want. I'm following you rolling.
That is a 22.
Wow. Yeah, with a 22, you tell me how much food you snatch, man.
I mean, he gets like a big. I don't think he grabs like a bunch, but he definitely grabs like an entire breakfast like croissant sandwich that's like got bacon on it or something, like egg, cheese, and bacon croissant sandwich. And he's eating it as he goes.
It's someone's order though. Like a waiter's walking by to take it to a table, and you just slip it off the tray, and he gets there and gives there's 4 people at the table, and he like puts down 3 plates, and then
he puts down 4 plates because the plate is still there with everything else that's on it. He just grabbed the sandwich off of it.
Yeah, so he puts down and like not even he's just like mindlessly putting the he puts the plate down, and you hear the guy in the background. He's like, "This plate's empty," and then he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and like gets the plate. He's rushing off to the kitchen to try to, yeah.
There's like there's 1 gold coin on the tray though that wasn't there before.
It just makes the guy more angry.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, he throws it at the waiter as he's running back to get his food. Like, how dare you, such an bring me a gold coin?
And Rain is now like 50 feet away, just eating a sandwich as he walks.
Oh yeah, he can just barely hear this in the background.
Yeah,
only because his ears are so good.
Yep.
Why don't you make a new investigation check? Looking for lawbringers around here.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Where you eating your croissant?
Oh, I'll eat my croissant. That's a 13.
Oh yeah. So at 13, you see a few lawbringers. You're very close to the tower, so
yeah, he doesn't like that.
It's not weird to see them just milling about. Most of them you see are in like groups of. But you do see 3 groups of 2, but they're all fairly close. So basically, the tower's dead center of the city, and then there's like a block around the tower of dead space that is there's like roads, like these paved cobblestone roads leading up to the tower from every direction, because this block around it's circular. And other than those, though, it's this like well-kept garden of different flowers, and it's like exotic plants and stuff all around it. So you see, and there's a few pathways like around, and the 3 groups of 2 you see are all in that dead space, walking around these gardens. Or 2 of them are walking around the gardens, and one of the couples is standing on the main pathway, but alone, and they're just like standing there talking to each other. You can't hear them this far away. But then the ones closer to you, all groups of 4. Like you see some eating, you see some walking towards the tower, some leaving the tower. Some are engaged in heavy conversation. Some are just like stoically traveling with each other. And you see they're lawbringers of all shapes and sizes and races. It doesn't seem like anything's more than anything else. You see humans, elves, orcs, dwarves, gnomes, tieflings, You don't see many Hunlings though looking around,
Yeah.
but it's a fair mix variety.
Oh, I'm trying to decide what he's gonna do. He doesn't like how many of them are around. There wasn't a time frame on this job, right?
Nope.
Okay,
Not at
cool.
all.
He's gonna use the invisibility on his cloak.
Is he just doing it right where he's standing?
I mean, he's gonna like be moving to like an underhang or like toward like a doorway or something, so he's not as visible.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's gonna enact the invisibility, and then he's gonna move as quickly as he can toward like a lawbringer. It doesn't matter who or what or even which group. It's probably whatever group is closest. And he's trying to, and he's gonna try to nab one of these their badges as he goes by.
Okay, so with where he would be after stealing someone's breakfast is the closest group of lawbringers. It is a wood elf, a high elf, a human, and a dwarf that are getting up from. So basically, like Ray nabbed someone's breakfast and was walking away from them, and it's ran into another one of these little outside restaurants, restaurants with these outside seating, and the closest lawbringers like 20 feet away, and they're getting up from their table. You know, they have plates that half-eaten food, and they're putting down money on the table as they leave. You dip under this like awning on your way there, turn invisible, and then you're moving up to them. Which one of them are you targeting?
The high elf.
Okay. Why don't you make a sleight of hand check? Go ahead and take advantage on it.
Because I'm invisible.
Yeah, I was trying to decide if you should have disadvantage on invisible because there's 4 lawbringers here.
That's a nat 20.
Whoa!
A nat 20 and a natural 1 in the same one. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Man, it's a nat 20. 4 of them are like throwing down money and walking off. You tell me what happens.
I think he's invisible now, which is probably really weird for him. He's not used to being invisible. Like, he's used to not being seen. Or at least not noticed because he's looks like a bum. But this is a different type of not being seen. And so he moves up quickly as they start, like, throwing their coins down to pay. And I think what he does is, just out of instinct, bumps into the human and send them toward, like, the dwarf. And and nobody sees that because he's invisible. But as he does that, he just grabs the badge off of the high elf and then, like, just ducks. And, he's still acting like he's visible, but he just ducks and, like, kind of roll. No, he doesn't roll. He's not Tajil. He just ducks and, like, kind of breaks into this, like, low running, this low sprint until he's, like, out of sight of them.
Okay. Where's he sprinting to? So, like, you're really close to this dead space where you could be sprinting to the tower, or you could be sprinting parallel to it, or, like, back into the city.
Oh, God.
Or, like, back towards
How long does the invisibility last?
It lasts... It's concentration.
Yeah.
Up to an hour.
Up to an hour. Holy shit. Oh, I was gonna just take the badge and then run back into the city and hide until nighttime. But he's right here.
He is right here, yeah.
I think he just keeps running toward the tower.
Okay, yeah. So I think he runs towards the tower.
Yeah, I think he runs toward the tower, but, like, as he gets closer and, like, through that open space, he's like, he has his cloak on and it's invisible. He's like, oh, I'm invisible. And so he slows down to, like, a quick walk, but not like because he doesn't want people to hear him. He doesn't want it to sound like somebody's running footsteps are going by. So he slows down. He's, like, attaching the badge to the outside of his cloak. and like walking quickly as if he was still visible. I think the invisibility is something like he's like, I did this. This is awesome, but I also do not trust it.
So that's something else interesting to me is surely you look invisible to yourself when you.
Yeah.
So,
Unless it's like the invisibility cloak in Harry Potter where like you still see yourself under the cloak. Right? I think that's how that is.
do you, or is it only in the movies? Like, no,
I
you do
don't
see yourself under the cloak. You do see yourself under.
Yeah, like I don't know,
Um,
like
yeah, but it's a spell that you're casting on yourself. It's not under your cloak. Like you've cast invisibility on
yeah,
yourself.
I guess if it's a spell that you cast on yourself and you wouldn't see yourself. So maybe he grabs his item and puts it in his pocket because he can't see what he's doing.
Well,
with it.
I'm gonna let you pin it to
Okay.
yourself. Like, and I'm not gonna make you roll. I just think it's interesting that because everything on your person is invisible. So
Yeah.
basically, this badge is visible, and you take it. And now, since you're the only one touching it, it's invisible, and it's a little awkward for him as he's walking and like
Yeah.
feeling of his cloak and pinning it.
Yeah,
But
he probably
can't see
pricks his
any of it.
finger
He
with the
can't see
pin
his-
or something.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because he can't see his cloak, he can't see his hands, he can't see the badge. But you know he can do it with his eyes closed.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say
he
he's
feels
used.
around and pins it.
Yeah, he's used to at least like doing stuff with his hands without looking because of how the stealing and everything.
Yeah. So as he approaches the tower, it looks like there is, like as he walks through his dead space and gets up closer to it, there's basically a main entrance, and there are two. It's city guards. They are not lawbringers, just like two city guards standing watch. And there's these big heavy doors that are closed. And then he sees another entrance on the backside that's a lot smaller that only lawbringers seem to be using. It's a smaller door, but it's also closed, and there's one city guard standing out by.
He moves toward the smaller door.
Okay, so yeah, it's not even a roll or anything. You move up to the smaller, and now you're there. There's this so there's one human guard wearing the Vogue guard armor, which is white with gold trim on it, and he's holding a spear, and he's just kind of standing there to the right of the door, looking, bored. Like no one ever tries to break in. He's just hanging out, but doing his job.
Oh man.
But the door is closed.
Yeah, I know. There's two things I'm debating. I'm gonna flip a coin.
Okay, Wheezes. Oh, a real coin. Never mind.
I'm gonna roll a d2. On a 1, he's gonna wait. On a 2, he's going to bluff. Ooh, that's a 2. Okay.
That's a bluff. That's what I wanted you to roll because I want to know what that means.
He moves up to like right beside the guard that seems really bored and kind of not caring. And he draws himself up. He feels to make sure the pin's there. He feels his cloak, takes a breath, and then throws back his hood, dropping invisibility, and goes, "Attention!"
You said attention?
Yeah.
Are you going more, I scared the shit out of this guy, or more, I'm going to talk my way in because look at me suddenly appearing. I'm definitely a lawbringer.
Oh, well, he's scaring the shit out of him with the plan of, yeah, I'm a lawbringer and I just caught you basically napping on the job. Like, you're looking bored. You're not paying that much attention.
Yeah, make an intimidation roll and you definitely have a badge. You have the badge. You just appeared in front of him, right where he was looking.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, he's like looking off to the side or something. And I'm just like, meh.
Like 3 feet away from him, where in his eye line.
I make sure I'm like drawn up to my full height and standing like stiffly, like I think a lawbringer would. 2 to 24. Oh shit, that's an 11. I got a 4 and a 7 plus 4.
At 11. So, so at 11, you appear, and it definitely startled. Like you see him jump, but he composes himself really quickly and kind of stands at attention and just like looks straight ahead, um, and not at you because he was looking off to the side, so you like right there in his eye line, and basically he looks like yeah, whatever. Sure. I'm standing up straight and like doing my job.
Rain shakes his head. Sloppy. City guards. And then he like walks to the door and goes to open it.
Yeah, the door's not locked. You open it. Will you roll a d20 when you say that? Just for something that's going on in the world right now.
No, that's an 8.
Okay. All right, so you open the door, walk in. Do we need to be wrapping it up?
Yeah, probably soon.
I think this might be a good time to call it then. You've bluffed your way in, you open the door, and make your way into the tower, and then we'll see what happens next time.
Oh, there's not like 30 lawbringers standing there all staring at me as I walk in?
Yeah, weapons drawn.
Weapons drawn.
You're not one of us. They're all chanting.
We like the city guard. Okay. Oh, Rain is so much fun.
Yeah, Rain is fun. Tonight he reminded me of a character. I had a few things I thought that like if he explores, like there's gonna be he can make a contact that'll like give him some blueprints and stuff.
Yeah.
But I really love that he just like, nope, I got a mission. Let's just do a little bit of scouting and move on in.
Yeah,
that's very Theron-like. That he's like, we'll figure it out on the fly. They're like, what's the plan? And
he wanted to get a good look at it.
It's ever changing.
He wanted to get a good look at the tower from like close up and stuff, and he wanted to get a badge. If he would have gotten a badge earlier, he probably would have been acting more like a lawbringer from the get-go. But because it took him so long to find lawbringers.
Well, that was something else. I do think you respected Nat 1 from 3 miles off.
Yeah,
where he's like, all right, he's going to be shooting more from the hip.
Yep. And so, like, and then I was like, okay, he's going to get the badge from one of these guys, and then he's going to go hide until nighttime so it's dark. It'll be more his speed. Because he's not a daytime type of person. But he's got this cloak that's got invisibility, and I think he just was like, fuck it, I'm going to go with it.
But he burned it.
He did. I mean, he burned the invisibility, but now he's inside the Lawbringers. He's got a badge. His cloak looks like a Lawbringer. Like, it's got the colors. It's like a gray color right now. Like, as long as nobody asks him, as long as nobody immediately goes, oh, you're not a Lawbringer. We know all the Lawbringers here. He should be okay.
Yeah. Or as long as no one walks up and like code. The sparrow flies. And wait for you to finish.
Yeah, if someone does that, then I mean that's when he has weapons.
Yeah. Find his way through the Lawbringer Tower. I honestly feel like he's been here long enough that he would at least, even if it's not true, because he hasn't been inside the tower or anything, I think with how many he's seen, he would get the vibe that, like, God, surely someone could wear a badge and walk around. And there's so many of them that people aren't, no one's going to be like, hang on a second, I know.
Yeah, there's enough Lawbringers that he could just be like, as long as, like, it's one of those, like, if he knows a name, he could drop a name type thing. And they'd be like, oh, okay, you know this one. And then.
I mean, very prequels Jedi Temple, where I think you could put on a robe and walk around. If you get into the temple with a robe and you're walking around, there's not a single Jedi that goes, I know every Jedi Knight. I know all 10,000 plus of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not one of us. You can fade in. Yeah.
You can definitely fade in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it was like a small monastery with like 100 people, then it'd be an issue. But when it's like an entire order of lawbringers, I think he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
He could even be like, I'm from one of the outposts.
Yeah, yeah. And that's something I was talking to Sydney about when. So basically, I gave Sydney the option when he was going to join us because I said this is probably going to be the only session that character's in, so I don't get too attached to him. And he said something like, "Yeah, I was going to ask you like what I need to do to join. All right, you got two. Make a character. If you want, you can just make a character. Tell me who they are, what they're doing, and whatever, and I'll find a way to fit you in.
Mm-hmm.
Or make a character that you plan on being an NPC, and like we'll kind of build who he is together." And he picked that one. And when he said that, I was like, all right, well, you're a lawbringer.
You're a lawbringer.
Yeah. You're going to be a lawbringer.
Rain is from Arcanus, or Arcanus? I don't know how you pronounced it. Originally. So he's not even from Voguehelm. So, like, for him, he could be like, oh, yeah, I'm from the Lawkeeper's Outpost in Arcanus. And then he knows enough about that city. But if there's Yeah.
That's the thing is there's other monasteries.
Yeah.
But this is the Lawbringer Monastery.
Yeah.
And it's... So, originally when all the monasteries were named, they were named after an aspect of Ulrich. So this was named the Monastery of Justice. But after time, this monastery's name has just changed, basically from how words will change with people just saying the wrong thing for so long.
Yeah, like...
This has become... the Lawbringers Tower.
Yeah, like how on the Monastery of Justice, on the map it says Lawkeepers, and we just keep saying Lawbringers.
Oh, is it Lawkeepers?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I just pulled up the map, and it's like Lawkeepers Monastery. I'm like, oh, we've been saying Lawbringers this whole time.
Lawkeepers makes more sense, too. But actually, it's going to be Lawbringers now. I've said it too much. I like that more, though. Lawkeepers is like, we keep the law, and Lawbringers is like, no, I bring the law.
Yeah, I bring the law. Yeah, I know. That's what I think. That's the thing. Like,
so I like that way better.
We've talked about like the Lawkeepers, Lawbringers being in like probably being like the main police, but yeah, they're not. They don't have a ton of outposts, right? They're not like all over the place.
No, they have one. That's what I'm saying. This is, they are very, very heavily modeled after. They're basically my. When I created them, I was like, they are Jedi mixed with Wild West sheriffs.
Okay, yeah. Texas Rangers, basically.
Yeah. But the Jedi mix in their like abilities and stuff. And my go-to example is in episode 3. When is it episode 3?
I don't know, what is it, and I'll correct you.
No, it's episode 2. In episode 2, when that changeling tries to assassinate Padme.
Yep.
And then they're chasing her down, and they go into a bar. Or it's this like nightclub. And
the Death Stick
Anakin and Obi-Wan... Yes, exactly. Anakin and Obi-Wan are like walking around trying to find her, and she... sneaks up on Obi-Wan, quote, sneaks up, pulls out a blaster, and before she can shoot, Obi-Wan turns and cuts her arm. And, like, it kills the whole scene. Like, the whole vibe in the nightclub. Like, the music stops, and everyone's like, and turns and looks, and Anakin looks at everybody and goes, Jedi business, go back to your drinks. Yep. And the party just starts back up. Okay. Like, that was one of my...
Oh, yeah.
Like, main inspirations is Lawbringers will show up and do... Like...
Yep.
They'll go down to Grand Dolphin, it's miles and miles and miles away, and arrest someone in the streets. And people, what the? And they flash their badge like Lawbringer business. And everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah, something's going on here. None of my business.
It makes sense. Okay, I like that. Yeah, so he won't be able to get away with the outpost thing, and he'd probably know that, but he'd be able to be like, oh, I served in Arcanus for a little while or something, or I was in Arcanus and.
Yeah, I think he would know that. That was something else that I was saying that I told Sydney is I picture them also, like when I gave him why he meets up with this group.
Mm-hmm.
I also picture them having the Aes Sedai quality of you can go to the main council and get missions. They'll give you stuff to do, but also they don't do much micromanaging in house.
Yeah.
I thought there's lawbringers that just like go around and seek and like bring justice to places that need it and go do their own missions. And as long as they're not doing crazy stuff that doesn't fit the temple's core beliefs, they're just like, yeah, you go do your thing, man. That's what you should be doing.
Makes sense. Alrighty. That was fun. I like being Rain.
Yeah, I thought we would get more done, but we ran enough to the end.
Yeah, we started 45 minutes of
yeah. When I was on at 7:40, I was like, oh, God, we're gonna finish.
I know we're gonna get so much done, and then we talked for 40 minutes, and it was like, okay, we're not gonna get that much done.
I do think the next session in this can be one episode, maybe.
I mean, we still got over an hour, and we got like an hour and so of audio, which I consider, as long as it's more than like an hour, we're probably good. So.
Oh my God, I'm at 2:16.
Yeah, we're recording. 40 some minutes.
Hold
on, let me see.
Yeah, we started around 50.
Yeah, my clap is
probably after.
Yeah, where's my clap? I made a note of it in my audio file. My clap is somewhere around 47, 48 minutes, something like that.
Jeez.
So we still got an hour and 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, never mind. It's 2 episodes. Yeah.
Well, this will be one, and then the next session will be one. Yeah. But all right, I'm gonna get off here and head to bed because I got a 9-hour shift tomorrow and then a 9-hour drive, basically.
All right, man. Sounds good. We'll do this again in 2 Mondays.
Yeah, basically. I will probably not get this audio uploaded until I'm down, like in Myrtle Beach or something. So it might be a couple days, but
hey, it's fun. I have things ahead of it that I need to do. So, no worries.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you, man.
Bye.